Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and in this video I wanted to review this new Tifa and Cait Sith banner. So since Cait Sith is the new character that we have, let's start with his costume and the weapon that he got. So the gear first, and visually I really like how Mogo and Cait they look like together. They look nice, funny, I like it. But it's our abilities that matter, so buff, debuff, extension, 10 points, so that's 40%, that's very nice, just from the costume, but this is the first time when we have gotten a critical potency Arcanum. That's the first costume with that, and it wouldn't make sense with any other character, but it makes much more sense for Cait, because critical damage is 50% more. That's a big increase. And why does it make sense? Let me go back to the wish list. Every other character in the game, I could click on any weapon, non-elemental weapon, it'll always have 10% crit chance. For Cait, every non-elemental weapon of his has 20% crit chance, but that yellow megaphone, it has 30% crit chance. So 10%, it's really up to chance if you sometimes manage to crit, but 30% that's like this bare minimum where you can crit more consistently. So even with this weapon is amazing because 30% crit chance, and when it crits it does 3 times damage, and pair this weapon with this costume that does additional 50%, that when Cait crits it'll be a huge damage. So this weapon is great, but overall for Cait it's very versatile, pretty much for every non-element weapon of his. That's a very good starting costume, in my opinion. But now his weapon, Flower Base, and that's where I have to say, this costume with this weapon, it seems very mid and not interesting because it seems like a very random combo. That costume increases crit damage, but this weapon, it doesn't have any crit damage because it isn't an offensive weapon. It's a support weapon that increases magic attack, also applies regen, and a small heal. But also here it's a completely new mechanic. It can apply haste. It's only 20% to actually successfully apply, but it can. And for 20 seconds, so your ADB on that particular character will increase for 20% if you manage to do that. But because this weapon is a healing and buffing weapon, so 100% defensive and support weapon, that's why it's a weird choice that they have given us this weapon with that costume. But when you look at Cait's all other weapons, that costume really makes sense, and that's why I think that costume is actually really good starting costume for him. But this weapon is actually amazing, not even only for Cait Sith, but as a sub-weapon. The only other weapon that we have in a game with those abilities is the Sun Umbrella that Aerith has. And here this weapon has even more stats. So boost magic attack, 62 points. Boost magic ability potency, 39 points. And Sun Umbrella, it has 46 points. So put this weapon in your sub-weapon in that slot, and you'll gain a lot of magic attack already. So you won't need as many magic attack sub-weapons to max out your magic attack or ability. This is an amazing weapon. Also magic attack, those are fine support material slots, but overall, I can't say anything bad about this weapon. If you need some magic attack and magic ability potency, this will be the best weapon for you, especially if you are using Aerith, so you don't have to choose whether you want to put Sun Umbrella on your magic DPS or have Aerith do some debuffs. And then also, of course, we have Tifa. And I was actually right, because when I saw that animation in that trailer on YouTube and Twitter, I said that this animation, it looked like magic, but it would be really weird for Tifa to get a magic Arcanum because she's one of the best physical DPS in the game. And well, I was right, because it is a magic war Arcanum. But the costume, it's magic ability potency, so that's nice, because you get that 15% more damage when your stance is max. And so you can also just boost it with your other sub weapons, or even put the power soul for extra HP and also some nice boost in the magic ability potency. And of course the war ability damage 35%, because that's the war Arcanum. And bunny gloves, I have to say, because we also have that fire banner and Everett has gotten also fire Arcanum, I like Tifa's setup more. And the reason why is it has magic attack on the weapon. It doesn't have to have magic attack on the costume and the weapon, but if it has on the weapon, that's already amazing. That's all we need, because you already have a big boost, 46 points. If you get it to 120 OB10, but 46 points, it puts you at level 6, so you don't even need those extra 10 points. You can put it in something else like magic ability potency, attack, other R abilities, but that level 6, that's the perfect like middle ground. But because it has 46 magic attack, it has 13 points less into elemental potency, but that's fine. So that's only 26 instead of 39 that most other elemental weapons have. But I think I understand why. Also, let's go quickly. Magic attack boost magic, and sigil boost the X sigil, so that's also nice. But the reason why this weapon has a little bit less on war potency, I think it's because of the C ability, which is Aqua Splash. And it deals 850% magic water damage to a single enemy, that's fine, but when Tifa's HP is 50% or more, magic attack is increased. It's low potency, but Tifa will be that's water DPS, so she should be doing this attack over and over again. And it can go up to high, so low is 1 stack, high is 3 stacks. If Tifa attacks 3 times, she'll have 30% damage boost. But also keep in mind that max potency being a high, it is only unlocked at OB6, so if you have it a 5-star OB1, it will be mid, so 20% magic attack increase, but when you get to OB6 it will be high, so 30%. And because of that, I think those 26 points in boost water potency, it's fine, because you lose 1 level of water potency only with this weapon, which you can make up with the other sub weapons. But here you will lose about 26 instead of 36. So you lose 15%, but if Tifa keeps doing this attack over and over again, she'll gain 30% magic attack increase. And this is huge. In my opinion, this weapon is kind of overpowered by itself, because it only consumes 4 ADB. It's not like ceremonial sword that Zack has that consumes 5 ADB. This weapon, it's basically like Sky Splitter that Cloud has, that fire weapon, but it has additional 30% potential that you can achieve. It's overpowered, I think, kind of. But of course that's Tifa, so it has to be. And lastly, I thought about some sub-weapons that you could use on Tifa to complement her water build, and I think it depends what you want Tifa to be, because she can be a pure DPS, she can be also a DPS and a debuffer hybrid, or she could very much be a DPS and a healer, because Tifa has those Grand Gloves, and they boost heal and also water potency. This is 52%, that's the most we have in a game currently. So both would be great, especially that Tifa has those lifeguard wraps. That's a AoE healing. And then of course this Power Soul that boosts HP and magic ability potency. For harder battles, sometimes you need 2 HP weapons, so that would be great. Also, Orthodox Raven boosts HP, boosts war potency. And Nanaki's Noble Collar, also again attack and water potency, because if you get this weapon to high overboost, you might not need a second magic attack weapon, so this weapon might be great for her. And Shinra Blade Maul, Sephiroth's weapon, it's good because it's a generic weapon. It has attack and boosts ability potency in case you max out on water potency or magic attack or magic ability potency. So sometimes those generic weapons are also nice. And like I already mentioned, Sun Umbrella is also a great option because magic attack, magic ability potency. But even for Tifa, Cait Sith's, this weapon, it would be great. As I said, magic attack, magic ability potency. This will be a very versatile weapon that you could put on any magic DPS. Especially since if you will be pulling on this banner, you can get both weapons. So you could put those on Tifa and they will complement each other. As for Cait Sith, as I already said, this banner weapon is not the perfect choice for that banner costume. The banner costume is amazing, so if you are planning to use Cait Sith, I would recommend that costume. It seems like a great starting costume for him, but this weapon is just a versatile support weapon as long as you have some magic DPS in your team. But other than that, that costume is amazing, especially for that yellow megaphone that has 30% crit chance, and when it crits it already does 3 times damage. But other than that, he also has some other good sub weapons, so you could build Cait Sith in many different ways. Alright, like I said, I think this is a good banner, and I am actually happy that they put those R abilities on those 2 sub weapons instead of them choosing something else, because now building Tifa is definitely much easier than building Aerith or Lucia with their fire weapons, and that's definitely much better for us as players. But even Cait Sith's costume, I think it's a great one, especially for his starting weapons. So yeah, if you're planning to pull on, good luck. I personally will be skipping because I am back into crystal saving mode. So yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next one.